Welcome to today's episode. This is going to be all about journaling. I'm going to show you a trading view chart in 3 seconds, and I want you to tell me how many profits and losses are on there without pausing the video. Can you tell me? I didn't think so. That's what life is without journaling. You don't know what profits you've made and what losses you've made. Let's go back to the chart. Now you can see the chart. It's clear. 3 wins and 1 loss. Can you tell me what you ate for breakfast a month ago? You couldn't tell me that either. If you wrote it down, somewhere you can remember it, and with a date stamp, could you have told me then? Yeah, of course. This is how important journaling is. Yeah, I know, journaling sounds boring, but trust me, this simple habit can transform the way you trade, and more importantly, the way you think about trading. So grab a pen, open your notes app, and let's dive into why journaling is so crucial in today's day and age. A trading journal is a personal record of every trade you've taken, wins and losses. But it's not just a list. If I bought this at $100 and I sold it for 110, or I bought USD JPY and I lost. A good trading journal dives a lot deeper than that. It includes your reasons for entering the trade, your emotions during the trade, and what you learn after the trade was closed, which probably is the most important part of it. Think of it as trading as your career, and the journal is your performance review. It's how you track your progress, identify your mistakes, and refine your strategy so that you can be paid at the end of the year what you're worth. Without a review, how do you know what you're going to be worth? Now, why is journaling so important? Couldn't you just check your trading view for your stats? Yeah, of course you could, but I'm going to tell you why a journal is the most important tool in your arsenal. First off is accountability. Trading isn't about luck. Me and you both know that. It's about discipline. Journaling keeps you honest. It forces you to document why you made the trade and not just what the outcome was. Second of all, it identifies patterns in your trading. When you review the journal, which is another big step you've got to do when you journal, you'll start spotting patterns that you didn't realize were there before. Maybe, after having a losing streak of 3 trades, you start making worse and worse decisions, putting you down a rabbit hole of revenge trading. Or maybe it's something even simpler, like every time there's a reversal pattern, you crush it. But every time there's a breakout, you lose money. Journaling shows you what's working best and what's not, and what you need to improve on, and what you need to keep doing the same. Thirdly is the emotional awareness journaling brings with it. Let's be realistic. Trading messes with your emotions. Journaling helps you recognize when fear, greed, or simple overconfidence are starting to step in and cloud your judgment. And once you're aware of this issue, you can start fixing it. And lastly, journaling is brilliant for building confidence. A well-maintained journal will show you your growth month to month. It will show you how far you've come. And that's a huge confidence booster. Plus, it gives you a record of strategies that actually work for you. So what should you actually put in your trading journal? Here's a few simple breakdowns. Firstly, your trade details. Write down the basics. The asset you traded, Euro USD, your entry and exit point of the trade, and your position size. Secondly, after that, write down the reason for the trade. Ask yourself, why did I enter this trade? Was it based on a strategy, technical analysis, or pure impulse? You've got to be honest. It's for your own growth. The best time to write this is when you enter the trade. Write it down straight away, because that's when your emotions are the biggest, and that's when you know exactly how you're feeling. Thirdly, you should write down your emotional state. How are you feeling? Are you calm? Are you confident? Are you nervous to enter the trade? This might seem odd and weird, but over time you'll get used to it, and you'll be able to see how actually your emotions do define how you trade. Fourthly, you should write the outcome of the trade. How did the trade turn out? Was it a win? Was it a loss? Did you break even? Did you close it early? And why? And lastly, you should write down the lessons you've learned in that trade, because every trade is going to come with its own lessons, even if you don't see it straight away. You should write down what went well in that trade, what could have gone better, and most importantly, you need to write down what you're going to do differently in the next trade, or what you're going to keep the same. And every time you do that differently or do it the same, you write it down again in the next chapter of the journal. Now, journals are kept on paper, digitally, online. That's just your style. If you'd rather write it on paper, there's no harm in that. If you put it online, there's no harm in that either. It's all up to you. Physical journals may help because writing things down with your hand make it feel a bit more personal. It's great for traders who like unplugging from their laptop and reflecting on how they've done in the day. Plus, there's always something satisfying about flipping through a page of notes, all of your wins and losses. Digital journals are also good. If you prefer automation, digital is the way to go. Tools like Excel, Notion, or Google Slides are all good tools. You can even go on dedicated apps like Edgewonk or TradersSync, as they can track statistics, generate reports, and even make reviewing your trades a lot easier. Whichever type you choose, the key to do it is consistency. A trading journal that lasts for a week and when you've been trading for a year won't have any impact on how you trade. However, if you've been trading for a year and been keeping a journal for a year, you can see exactly what you're doing wrong and what you could be doing better. It doesn't matter if you've got a notebook or a fancy app. Just do it regularly is my biggest piece of advice. Let's talk about building the habit to journaling, because this is a tool all in itself. It's easy to say that you'll journal later and you'll never really do it. So you've got to set a routine. Review your trades every day, even if you haven't made any. Make it part of the end of day process. If you've traded, review them. If you haven't, explain why in your trading journal. You should keep it simple. You don't need to write half a novel for every trade. Just start with the basics and add bullet points. And lastly, you should focus on progression, not perfection, in your journal. Your first journal entries probably will be messy, and that's fine. The goal is to learn and not to impress anyone. Your trading journal is exactly that. It's yours. Learn as you go how your style fits you. Let me give you an example. I started trading about 5-6 years ago, and I only journaled for the past 4 years. Now, about 3 years ago, I had about 5 or 6 losing trades in a row. I assumed my strategy that I was using was wrong, even though I was starting to get slightly profitable. But because I was keeping a journal, I realised there's a pattern to my losing trades. I'd realised that every trade that started to lose was being placed after 4 p.m. in the afternoon. This told me that I was either overtired and I wasn't thinking straight, or that there just wasn't the volatility for me to trade after 4 o'clock. So instead of me panicking and thinking the strategy I was using for the past couple of months has suddenly stopped working out of nowhere, I took a look at the journal and realised that I should stop trading after 4. Now, in hindsight, the strategy didn't actually work, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. However, it made me realise that after 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I shouldn't be trading. Journaling doesn't just track your success and your failures. It helps you build your self-awareness, your discipline, and your confidence. And to be honest with you, those are the real strategies in long-term day trading. So, that's going to be everything for today. Journaling. It's not very glamorous, but it's the backbone in trading that I use every day. I'd like to thank you for watching this video, and as always, I'll see you tomorrow.